when the shadows began to move. Hey everyone. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment if you've ever felt like something was watching you in the dark. When I first moved into the apartment, it didn't feel scary at all. It was small, old, and kind of quiet. The kind of place you could hear the pipes talk at night. The landlord, Mr. Pike, was an old man with a big grey moustache. He told me, "The walls creak, but they're safe." I smiled and believed him. The first few nights were fine. I unpacked my boxes, made noodles, and watched movies until I fell asleep. But sometimes, I thought I saw something move on the walls. Just a flicker, like the shadow of a person walking by. I told myself it was just the streetlight from outside. Then one night, I was washing a cup at the sink when something cold brushed the back of my neck. I turned fast, but there was nothing there. The window was closed. The curtains didn't move. Only the shadow on the wall, stretching long and thin, like an arm reaching out before it disappeared. The next morning, I laughed it off. "It's just my imagination," I said out loud, trying to make the empty room feel less quiet. But when I looked down, the cup I dropped last night was cracked clean in half. A few days later, I decided to record my living room at night, just to see if something weird would happen. I placed my phone on a shelf, pressed record, and went to sleep. The next morning, I watched the video. At first, everything looked normal. Then, at around midnight, something changed. The light in the hallway flickered. My shadow was on the wall, and right behind me was another one. Taller, darker, not moving the way mine did. I froze, rewound the video, watched it again. In one frame, the tall shadow leaned toward me like it was whispering something. Then the next second, gone. I went next door to show the video, to my neighbor, Dinah. She worked as a nurse and always came home late. When she saw the clip, her face went pale. She turned the phone off and pushed it back to me. "Don't show that to Mr. Pike," she said. "He'll just say it's bad wiring." Then she added in a low voice, "Someone died in this building, a long time ago, in the hallway. People said they still feel him here when it gets cold." That night, I met an old man in the laundry room. He was folding towels and humming softly. I asked him if he knew anything about the story. He nodded slowly. "Wartime," he said. "A soldier used to live here. One night there was a blackout. He went out to smoke and never came back. They said he died right in that hallway outside your door." I didn't want to believe it, but the cold spots in my apartment started to make sense. Every time I walked through the hallway, my breath turned white like winter air. Sometimes I'd hear tapping in the walls, 3 short knocks. Then silence. Mr. Pike brushed it off when I asked him. "Old buildings make noise," he said. "Don't let stories scare you." But his voice sounded nervous, and he wouldn't look down the hallway when he said it. Then came the photo. One night, I woke up suddenly around 3 a.m. My phone slipped out of my hand and the camera went off by accident. The flash lit the whole room for half a second. The next morning, when I checked the picture, my stomach dropped. Behind me, near the wardrobe, there was a tall, dark shadow. It had no face, just a shape, stretching higher than the ceiling. That morning, I didn't turn on the lights. I didn't open the curtains. I just sat there staring at the photo. Then came the tapping again, slow, calm, almost polite. Tap, tap, tap. I whispered, "Who's there?" The room went still. Then, softly, just loud enough for me to hear, a voice from the dark corner said my name. And this time, the shadow didn't fade away. It started to move. That morning I packed a small bag and almost left. The air in my apartment felt heavy, like someone was breathing beside me even when I stood still. But I couldn't leave yet. Something about the photo, The way that dark shape leaned toward me made me want to understand what it was. The next night, I tried sleeping with every light on. It didn't help. Around midnight, the bulbs began to flicker one by one, like a heartbeat slowing down. Then came the tapping again, 3 soft knocks from inside the wall. I pressed my hand against it. Cold. Too cold. "Stop it," I whispered. The tapping stopped. For a second, I thought maybe I imagined everything. But then, in the reflection of the TV screen, I saw something move behind me. A shape taller than any person, just standing there. When I turned, nothing. Only the quiet sound of the fridge humming and the curtains swaying, even though the window was closed. The next morning, I asked Dinah if she ever saw or heard strange things in her flat. She hesitated, looked around the hallway like she didn't want it to hear her. "My lights go out sometimes," she said, "and I smell cigarette smoke, even though I don't smoke." "Like someone lit one in the hallway?" I asked. She nodded. "Always near your door?" That night I stayed awake, waiting. Around 2:30 a.m., a faint smell of smoke filled the room. Old, burnt tobacco. My phone started buzzing on the table even though no one was calling. When I picked it up, the screen was frozen. Static lines, black and white fuzz, like a broken TV. Then, just for a moment, I saw something appear on the screen. A man's face. Pale. Empty eyes. A thin line of blood across his collar. And then the screen went black. I dropped the phone. My chest felt tight. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. In the morning, I went to the city archive office. The woman behind the desk found a yellowed newspaper article from 1942. "Local soldier found dead in tenement hallway," the headline said. The article described a power blackout during an air raid drill. The soldier had been stabbed by an intruder who was never caught. Witnesses reported seeing a flicker of movement in the corridor before the power went out, as if the light itself bent. When I got home, the hallway light was already flickering again. Mr. Pike was standing at the far end, staring at my door. "Everything okay?" I asked. He didn't answer, just turned his head slowly and said, "He doesn't like being remembered." Then he walked away, without another word. That night, I placed a chair against my bedroom door and sat on the bed with my phone camera pointed toward the corner where the shadow had appeared. I tried to stay awake, but sometime after 3 a.m., I drifted off. A noise woke me, a low, dragging sound, like someone sliding their hand along the wall. My phone was still recording. The curtain lifted even though there was no breeze. Then came a whisper, clear and close. "Help me." I turned on the flashlight. The wall by the wardrobe looked wrong. The paint was darker, almost soft, like it was wet. Then I saw it. The shadow hand pressing from inside, stretching the wall like it was made of thin cloth, fingers long and black. I stumbled back, dropped the phone, and when I picked it up again, the hand was gone. Only 3 faint marks remained on the wall, like burn prints. In the morning, I showed Dinah the marks. Her face went pale. "You need to leave," she said. "That's not a ghost. That's something stuck here. Something that wants a way out." But that night, I didn't leave. Because when I packed my bag, the lights went off by themselves, and from the dark hallway came a low voice I'd never heard before. It said my name, slowly. And this time, I wasn't sure if it came from the wall or from inside my head. I didn't leave that day. Something deep inside me wanted to understand what the shadow wanted. I told myself maybe, just maybe, if I found the truth, it would finally stop. By sunset, the whole building felt strange, too quiet. The hallways seemed darker than usual, like the walls were swallowing the light. Dinah didn't answer when I knocked on her door. Mr. Pike's door was wide open, his apartment empty except for a smell of dust and smoke. I went back to my flat and set my phone to record again. I sat in the middle of the room, facing the wall where the marks still burned through the paint. The air felt thick, like standing underwater. The clock ticked past 3 a.m. Then the lights went out. At first, there was only silence. Then, slow tapping. 3 knocks, just like before. I held up my phone light. The shadow was back, standing near the wall. But this time, it wasn't flat. It had depth, shape, weight, like a real person made of darkness. "Who are you?" I whispered. The shape tilted its head, and the air in the room grew colder. Then, through the sound of the phone's mic, I heard it. A weak, broken voice. "Forgotten. Left. In the dark." I realized then, it wasn't trying to hurt me. It wanted to be seen. I said, "You're the soldier, aren't you?" The shadow trembled. I saw the faint outline of a face, blurred and flickering. For a second, I smelled that same old cigarette smoke. And then, faintly, gunpowder. The walls began to shake. My lamp fell and shattered. The voice grew louder, more desperate. "They left me here," it shouted. "No light, no name." I ran to the hallway, heart pounding. The corridor light was flickering again, faster this time. Down at the end, I saw something. Not a person, but the shape of one, pacing back and forth. Smoke curled up from the floor like fog. I followed it, even though every part of me wanted to run. "What do you want?" I asked. It stopped moving. Slowly, it turned toward me, and for the first time, I saw its eyes, hollow but filled with light, like 2 burning candles. Then I heard another voice behind me. Mr. Pike. "You shouldn't have talked to it," he said. "We keep the lights dim for a reason. The dark belongs to him." He was holding something, an old photo. It showed a young soldier standing in that same hallway, smiling beside a woman who looked like Dinah. My stomach twisted. "She's his sister," Pike said. "She never left either. Didn't you wonder why she was always home so late? She died here too, years ago." Before I could answer, the lights burst, glass raining down like ice. Pike vanished into the smoke, and the shadow lunged forward, reaching for me. Its hand wrapped around my arm, cold, but not painful. It felt like a memory trying to hold on. "Let me rest," it whispered. I nodded, tears running down my face. "How?" The shadow turned toward the window. I understood. Light. I pulled the curtain open. The first glow of dawn spilled into the room, golden and thin. The shadow froze, then began to fade, piece by piece, until only a faint shimmer of smoke remained. When it was gone, the air felt lighter. The wall no longer felt cold. The tapping stopped. That morning, I left the apartment for good. But when I reached the bottom of the stairs, I saw something that made my heart stop. On the dusty wall near the exit, someone had written in fresh black soot, "Thank you for the light." I looked back up the stairs, and for just a moment, in the grey morning light, I saw the shadow of a man standing by my old door, not moving, just watching. Then the sun rose higher, and he was gone.